Live from Studio B here at the Appraiser eLearning World Headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Hal Humphreys, and this is your weekly briefing. This week at Appraiser eLearning, we've got some fun things. So my partner in this business, Bryan Reynolds, hosts the Appraisal Update podcast. And this week, he talks with Jason Covington. Now, Bryan Reynolds is the current president of the National Association of Appraisers, and Jason Covington is a board member of the National Association of Appraisers. And their topic this week is about joining a coalition, about joining an organization that supports and helps appraisers. Now, the National Association of Appraisers, of which I'm a member, is a fantastic organization. We host the ACTS Conference, Appraisers Conference and Trade Show every spring. This next spring is going to be in Sacramento, California. We host the Appraisal Summit every year in Las Vegas. And it's a chance for appraisers from around the country to come together and learn from each other, mentor each other, share tips and tricks. And as you'll see in the podcast, there are some opportunities for trainees who attend the Appraisal Summit. There are some chances for trainees to have trainee-specific training, stuff that is just for them and not for the old grizzled appraisers in the room. There's also plenty of opportunities for trainees to meet old grizzled appraisers and possibly find that mentor they've been looking for. So tune into the Appraisal Update podcast this week and listen to Bryan and Jason Covington talk about the benefits of being part of an organization. One of the coolest things the National Association of Appraisers does is we have the Appraisers Relief Fund. And it is a fund that will not make an appraiser whole if something horrible happens in their life, but it can help them out. I'm thinking specifically of our appraiser friends down in Florida who just went through Hurricane Ian. The Appraiser Relief Fund is there to help appraisers in need. And the NAA is the only organization I know of that is related to the appraisal profession that does anything like that. We're also one of the few organizations in the country that focuses on trainees and getting trainees into the appraisal business, giving them a chance to meet other appraisers, other trainees, and learn and network, those kind of things. Anyway, so tune in to the Appraisal Update podcast. It's a great episode. You don't want to miss it. Coming up here at Appraiser eLearning, we have some pretty exciting things coming up. This is the course that I'm going to highlight for this specific episode of your weekly briefing. Peter Christensen is an instructor that works with us here at Appraiser eLearning. He is an attorney. He is so knowledgeable about appraisal industry-specific things that he is one of the few experts in the country that helps out appraisers when they find themselves in trouble. There's a few others. Craig Capilla comes to mind. Mel Black comes to mind. These are lawyers who know the appraisal business. Most of the time when your insurance company hires a lawyer to help you out, they're a lawyer. They know the law, which is as it should be, but they may not know the ins and outs of the appraisal business. Peter Christensen does. He knows the appraisal business. So he's going to go over 6 recent appraiser lawsuits and the lessons that we can learn from those. It's 3 hours of CE. We'll be hosting that October 18th from 12 to 3 Central Time. And again on November the 15th from 12 to 3 o'clock Central Time. If you want to learn what's going on out there in the world of lawsuits and complaints against appraisers and bolster yourself to avoid those kind of things, I highly recommend you check out Peter Christensen's class, 6 recent appraiser lawsuits and lessons from each. And again, for that, you get 3 hours of continuing education. That is your weekly briefing. From Appraiser eLearning, I'm Hal Humphreys, your host. And now a brief shout out to our sponsors.